Thank you and welcome to our little experiment in social distancing. We're going to continue with George Gershwin's Strike Up the Band in just a second, but I want to let everybody know that we have concert programs just in front of the band in a little plastic container. And we also have masks if you need a mask. You didn't bring one. They're in that cardboard box there, so you can help yourselves. The masks are compliments of one of our sponsors. We want to make sure that we acknowledge them. The AIS company of Leominster donated the masks, so thank you, AIS. We continue with a wonderful Warren Barker arrangement of Gershwin's Strike Up the Band. So this year marks the 250th anniversary of the birth of Ludwig van Beethoven, and we thought we would recognize the occasion. We're going to do that a couple of times this summer. Today, our concert is kind of dedicated to all of the people who have gotten us through, or continue to get us through, this terrible health crisis that we're currently going through. And so that's kind of the underlying theme of tonight's program. The last movement of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, his final symphony, was set to the words, the choral text of Schiller, the German philosopher. And for, 200 years now, it has been synonymous with rejoice and triumph. And I thought it would be appropriate for tonight to celebrate what we all hope will be a triumph over this terrible scourge. This music was featured prominently when the Iron Curtain fell in 1989, and we're going to perform it for you tonight. This is Beethoven's Ode to Joy in an arrangement which our sheet music is titled Hymn of Brotherhood. The arrangement is by Gerald Tomaj, but the music is Beethoven's. The finale from Symphony No. 9, the Ode to Joy. Take a look at the roadmap, too. Yes. Very good. time of COVID-19, a lot of people have suffered loss. People, loved ones who have passed away. And I thought it would be appropriate tonight to play this next piece. In England, this is what they play to mourn. Every Remembrance Day, they play this at the Cenotaph in the middle of, what's it called? They're in London. Anyway, this is the music they play. This is the music of Edward Elgar, who was one of Britain's most eminent composers. Elgar came home one day from a difficult day of teaching. He was a music professor, and he had had about all that he could take that day, and he was really tired and very frustrated. And he sat down at the piano in his house, and he started to just improvise. And his wife came into the room, and she said, "What is that you're playing?" She says, it's beautiful." And he said, "Oh, I don't know." He said, "It's just something I thought of." He said, "Maybe it'll amount to something, maybe not." And that is what eventually became Nimrod, this variation from the Enigma Variations. And if you want to know more about it, it's actually the Enigma Variations. It's a fascinating story. I recommend it highly. You can look it up on Wikipedia or whatever your favorite resource is. But as I said, this is one short movement from that entire piece, Enigma Variations. This is entitled Nimrod, and we send this out to everyone who has suffered loss during this time. This next one is for all of you who are kids at heart and those of you who are still kids. This is music from Walt Disney. If you've ever been to Disneyland or Disney World and you've gone on the ride, It's a Small World. This is that melody, It's a Small World, which was written by Richard and Robert Sherman, two brothers who were a songwriting team that worked for Walt Disney. You know their music from Mary Poppins. They wrote the entire score to the original 1965 Mary Poppins movie. But they also wrote this little tune for... oh, did I lose that? Thank you. It's the second time tonight my wife has saved me. And that's just tonight. Anyway, where was I? Yes, the brothers Sherman, who wrote Mary Poppins, they wrote this for Walt Disney for the theme park. So I'm going to send this out to some very special guests. This is for Seamus and Veronica. It's a small world after all. What does an arranger do? What is the role of an arranger in music? And I think that last piece is a perfect example. You're all familiar with that 16-bar melody of It's a Small World, and you heard what, in that case, arranger Warren Barker did with those 16 bars. He brought you to different countries and different cultures and exotic-sounding instruments and combinations of instruments. That's what an arranger does. And next we have, speaking of arrangements, a new arrangement. This is one that holds a little personal meaning to me. When I was just a little kid, I wasn't like most children of the 60s. I was listening to my father's old 78s. And one of my very favorites was a recording that he had of the Harry James Band with Dick Haymes. Remember Dick Haymes? No. Somebody does, yeah? Dick Haymes singing this next tune, which is entitled I'll Get By. It's an old song, even older than when Harry recorded it. Harry recorded it in 1942. It bombed the first time around, and they reissued it in 1944, which is when it became a really big hit. But it was written in the 20s by Roy Turk and Fred Alert. But I thought the lyrics were particularly meaningful in this particular time. So I transcribed the Harry James arrangement for our concert band, and I've asked my brother Carl to come up and sing it for us. So here's the Harry James version, somewhat, of I'll Get By. Let's hear it for Carl Piermarini.
Thank you, folks. It's a beautiful night for a concert. What a band, huh? Fantastic band. And I want to thank Steve for playing that last song, because it'll be forever stuck in our heads now, all night long. But maybe this one will get it unstuck. We don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll get by as long as I have you. There may be rain and darkness too. I won't complain, I'll see it through. Poverty may come to me, it's true, but what care I? Say I'll get by as long as I have you. care I say I'll get by as long as I have you. Thank you. Thank you, Steve.
Well done. Corona elbow bump. Carl Piermarini. Carl had sent me a link to some cowboy songs he had sung on LTV, and that was what gave me the idea to ask him to sing with us. He said he wanted his grandchildren to know that he could sing something other than cowboy songs. So there you go. We're not done yet, but I want to read these thank yous while I still have light. So this whole thing is a new experiment, moving out of our comfort zone at Carter Park. So there's a lot of unknown here at the Common. Even though many years ago this is where the band used to play. I don't think anyone here is old enough to remember that, but this was our home at one point. And then at another point, where that parking lot is, used to be the police station, and the band used to play weekly Tuesday night concerts there too. So it's kind of like coming home, but because we haven't been here in 70 years, it took a lot of measuring and a hell of a lot of work from our band manager, John DiCicco. So I'd like you to all please acknowledge John. When I got here at 4:30 today, John had already been here, and his wife Sharon, she deserves a round of applause too. Setting up chairs, this, what do you call, ribbon thing, and, in order for us to get our grant from the Music Performance Trust Fund, of course, we had to signify and prove with a report that we could present this concert with appropriate safety protocols for the audience and for the musicians as well. So, John's got hand sanitizers and masks and wipes and all kinds of things. The amount of work and the lights that he brought, which hopefully will provide adequate lighting for us once the sun does go down. But anyway, I wanted to mention that because moving here meant a lot of work on John's part. So thank you, John and Sharon. And we have other people to thank as well, and I want to go through the list. The Office of the Mayor, Dean Mazzarella, we thank him for entertaining our proposal to come here to Carter Park. He was all for it, and we're very grateful to the mayor and his staff. We want to thank the Department of Public Works. They brought all of the barriers here that were also required. We want to thank once again the AIS company for the donation of all the masks. That was something that we didn't even anticipate, and that was a really generous random act of kindness. And very special thanks to Mayor Mazzarella's administrative assistant, Michelle Nadeau, for her tireless effort in coordinating all of the logistics and providing everything that we needed to make this venue accessible, from the porta potty to the DPW fencing and moving these two behemoth plantings that were right where I'm standing not too many days ago. So thank you to Michelle for everything she did. She's really attention to detail. So thanks to all those people. We're going to continue with more swing music. And this next one has a special dedication. Speaking of John DiCicco and his wife Sharon, and people who have suffered loss in the recent times, John lost his father. Joe DiCicco Jr. passed away in March from cancer, and John never asks me, he never interferes in the music programming. He said, I want one favor. He said, can you play In the Mood for my dad, because July 21st would have been his 91st birthday. So we want to honor Joe DiCicco and thank you for letting us have John, because none of this would be possible without him. So this is for Joe, Glenn Miller's great opus, In the Mood. I'd like to acknowledge the soloists on that last one. Judy Piermarini on tenor saxophone. Lou Stamus on alto saxophone. And my buddy from Berkeley, who we're having for the first time with us tonight, Mark Sanchez. Take a bow, Mark. That's enough. And I was remiss not to credit the trumpet solo. The great Harry James solo on I'll Get By was done by none other than John Perko. We continue with some contemporary serious music. This is a composition done by Edward J. Madden. Eddie was the composer of the first piece that our band commissioned back then, and back in the, what was it, the 90s? Anyway, this is not that piece. This is another piece that Eddie wrote. If you're familiar with Brahms' Academic Festival Overture, that piece, as well as this next one, is based on the same Latin tune. This song goes back centuries. It's one of the oldest melodies known to Western music. And it's called Gaudeamus Igitur. And you'll hear it in the piece, but what Eddie does around that is pretty interesting. So, bye, kids. So here's Edward J. Madden's Fantasia on Gaudeamus Igitur. So the reason we moved the microphone is you're in for a treat. We're going to feature our principal clarinetist, Joe Pisano Jr. He's going to play some jazz on a great old standard called I'll Remember April. go. Everybody have 76 trombones? Next we have one that's not in the program. Here's Meredith Wilson's great opus from the musical The Music Man. Here's 76 trombones. We'd like to take this opportunity to explain to you that unlike our usual schedule at Carter Park, our concerts this summer are going to be on Tuesdays and Friday evenings. And I won't go into all of the lurid details about why that is, but trust me, there's a good reason. So there'll be another concert Friday evening, and another one the following Tuesday, and then again on the following Friday, which is July 31st, and then the last concert will be Tuesday, August 4th, I think it is. In the event of inclement weather, we have to cancel. And the reason for that is we cannot go into our usual inclement weather home, which is Leominster City Hall Auditorium, because we can't maintain a safe distance in that space. It's just not large enough. So if it's raining, the concert will be called off. If that is the case, I would direct you to our website, which is www.colonialband.org, because the information will be posted there by 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the event of a cancellation. And it'll also be on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Leominster Colonial Band. So that's the deal on Tuesdays and Fridays until August 4th. So we're going to continue now with the music of John Philip Sousa, and I thought this one was again appropriate for our theme tonight. This is entitled Hands Across the Sea. before we play our next to last number, we'd like to once again thank all the people who made our presence here at the Common possible, the Office of the Mayor, the Mayor's Assistant, Michelle Nadeau, the Department of Public Works, and last but certainly not least, all of the great work that John DiCicco did, including making this podium that I'm standing on. So there's a lot of work that went into moving us here, and I want to make sure that we thank all of the people who made it possible, because I don't think there are band concerts happening anywhere else, and it's because of all of these people's hard work that it's possible here in Leominster. So we're grateful to you for coming out and providing us with an audience. We love to play for people, and we hope you'll come out again Friday, and we hope you'll avail yourselves of some of the nearby merchants, get a sandwich at Roasted Peppers or Subway or something, and make a picnic out of it and have some fun. On Friday's program, we will be, I'll tell you in a second what we'll be playing. I have it somewhere. Oh yes, and we want to thank the people from AIS for the masks. That was a really nice, unexpected surprise. Oh, that's what I was looking for. You had it the whole time. Oh yes, of course. Well, I can't see this. But on Friday's program, we will have, oh yes, the Radetzky March, Great European March. If you've ever seen the New Year's Day special on PBS with the Vienna Philharmonic, they play the Radetzky March and have all kinds of fun with it. We'll be doing the American Folk Fantasia, and a tribute to the late, great Jerry Herman, who passed away last December. We'll be doing an arrangement of music from his musicals Maine, La Cage aux Folles, and Milk and Honey, and Hello Dolly, as well as some others. Oh, we'll be featuring Carl again on our Neil Diamond medley. We haven't heard from his brother this week, but it's early yet. So we continue with the music of Rodgers and Hammerstein. This is from The Sound of Music, Climb Every Mountain. Oh, and thanks to, I shouldn't forget, to the Leominster Cultural Commission, who provide us a grant through the Mass Cultural Council, and all of our sponsors who are listed on the program. Thank you to all of you for making this happen. Thank you so much. We'd like to conclude our concert with God Bless America.